Republican Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett. Congressman Burchett, thanks so much for being here. I got to ask you, do you regret your vote to oust McCarthy?
Absolutely not, Ms. Vargas, and thank you so much for having me on. The truth is, we are $33 trillion in debt, and this going down this same path again and again and again is not going to fix it. We do the exact same thing, whether the Democrats or Republicans. Our bond rating was marked down only the second time, and the reason was because of leadership and fiscal maturity, and it went 20 years back, so it's both parties. And yet we continue rewarding these folks that want to do the same dadgum thing.
Well,
and I'll tell you, people in East Tennessee
you're not doing anything right now.
Are tired of the.
Without a speaker, I mean, you guys have got to get a speaker.
Yes, ma'am, but of course we weren't doing anything before. I don't think we could name half a dozen pieces of legislation that actually moved through the Senate. So this is the proper venue. This is the way we're doing it. We're following the rules. Everything we're doing is legal. We're doing it out in front of the folks. All of our votes are public. And so I think it's healthy for the party, and that's just what we're going to do.
All right. Well, your GOP Republican colleague, Ken Buck, very conservative, said that he won't vote for Jim Jordan because he asked Jim Jordan to admit that former President Trump lost the 2020 election and that Jordan would not. He said that's a deal breaker. There are other Republicans who feel the same way.
I can't argue with their reasoning. That's their opinion. I can sit here and admit to you that Joe Biden is our president. I don't have a problem admitting that, and that he is in the White House. There's no problem there, and I'm from a very conservative area. And I would submit to you, though, ma'am, that a lot of these people, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes on their reasoning. If you look at the holdouts, the 20 holdouts, a third are appropriators. There's three parties in D.C., Democrats, Republicans, and appropriators. These folks don't want to go back under a budget. They don't want to be held accountable with votes, and I understand that. That's huge power. They get all kinds of great things for their district.
Okay.
The other are freshmen who are out there, and then you have the folks that are commonly called war hawks that push for every conflict, and those are the three groups that are against Jim Jordan. So, and there's not a lot of overlap in any of those. So, I would dare say that those people each have individual agendas, and that's what they're going to push for.
You're solidly in the Jim Jordan camp, despite the fact that you differ with him on who won the 2020 election, and you're not changing your vote. Do you think he's going to win tomorrow? Because a lot of people say the momentum is shifting away from him.
Yes, ma'am. We've lost one. We picked up a couple of more. But the best thing Jim's doing right now is not having a dadgum conference meeting where everybody gets on the mic and airs out their grievances. He's going one-on-one with these folks, so there's no thought process that you got to show for your friends or show because it's going to leak out, which it always does. It's just a one-on-one thing, and Jim's going to address their concerns. And if he doesn't get there, he doesn't get there. But I want to give Jim every opportunity. He is the most popular Republican in the country among grassroots Republicans. There's no question. He's head and shoulders above everybody, even me.
Okay. I don't know about that. I think you've got your own fan base.
I don't know if you caught that or not. Yeah, my wife and daughter sometimes.
Yeah, I want to shift to a slightly different story. NewsNation has learned that you and your colleagues will be able to get into the classified SCIF room to look at the UAP documents that you've been trying to get. You had this exchange with whistleblower David Grush about getting into the SCIF back in July. Let's take a listen.
Can you give me the names and titles of the people with direct firsthand knowledge and access to some of these crash retrieval programs, and maybe which facilities, military bases the recovered material would be in?
I can't discuss that publicly, but I did provide that information both to the intel committees and the Inspector General.
And we could get that in the SCIF if we were allowed to get in a SCIF with you. Would that be probably what you would think?
Sure, if you had the appropriate accesses, yeah.
All right, so now you got the access, right?
Yes, ma'am. Allegedly. I'll believe it when I see everything. They're scrambling right now, and they're nervous, and they should be. I noticed I was wearing my gray suit right there. My wife's going to be on me. So, baby, why don't you wear that gray suit? Wear my gray suit.
When are you going to do this? When are you going to go into the SCIF?
It'll be before Christmas, I believe, is what we've heard. It's coming up here in the next, I believe, in the next couple of weeks, from what I understand. But all those things are kind of subjective to what's going on elsewhere,
yeah,
of course, in Washington.
I think probably getting a
speaker, because a lot of people are
yeah.
asking.
Yeah, I imagine so. Very
yes,
quickly,
ma'am.
Congressman, do you go into the skiff with David Grush, or do you just go through the documents that he has assembled for you?
I believe, first of all, we'll go through with the documents. That would be a secondary thing, which I understand is in the works as well. But from what I understand, there's a lot more than Grush out there. Dave's a buddy of mine, but there's a lot more than Grush out there that have this information, and we're going to get to it. And that's why people are very nervous, and they should be at the Pentagon, because they've been covering this thing up since 1947. And now, all of a sudden, hey, 55% of America believes that there's something else out there. A major news network like yourself is covering this, so they realize there's money available. They want us to study it now. All I say is bring out the documents. Let the American public decide. You all have been great in the media by keeping the heat on them, and thank y'all for that.
All right, Congressman Tim Burchett, always a pleasure to talk to you, sir. Good luck tomorrow.
It's a pleasure being with you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.